Man, oh man, do we have something interesting to talk about. And by the way, we're not doing no intro, none of that. We got one topic and one topic only to go over. I want to make this a short and sweet video. So as we all know, spring is coming up. What does that mean for the sport of college football? Well, you're going to have a lot of these quarterback battles going on, spring practices, and eventually your spring games. And me being 100% transparent with all of you, I never like to hype up spring ball, and I really don't like to talk about it too much. And I don't even like to hype up the college football season in June or July. I just feel like it's doing too much. I don't want to sit up here and go, oh, this quarterback's going to be really good, this guy's going to be really bad 6 or 5 months before the season. I don't really get into the way too early preseason rankings and try to predict how everything's going to go because there's no point of it. At that point in time, I just think you're being a little bit too anxious. But however, one of the most interesting things currently going on in the college football world, from head coaching to teams to players, is the Alabama quarterback battle. This has been, and it still is till this day, one of the most intriguing topics in all college football. Who is going to be the quarterback for Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide? People want to know, they're curious. Why is it such a big deal? Why do people care so much? Well, it's because Alabama is the best football team in the country. Or my bad. I meant to say Alabama is one of the best programs in the country for the past 15 to 10 years. You get what I'm trying to say. When you think of college football, and I know Georgia went back to back, but right now Alabama is still the king. And I get it, Georgia fans, you're running to the comment section right now. You don't like that, and I know exactly the argument you're going to present. Matt, how can you say that? We just went back to back. We're on the rise, and if anything, Alabama's on the decline. Listen here, Georgia fans. I agree with you 10,000%. You don't have to argue with that. What I'm trying to say is, as far as it goes for brand name, image, and likeness, Alabama is still the king of college football. But I will tell you this, Georgia is extremely close to taking over that top spot, and I've even almost convinced myself at times that Georgia has already taken it. But for now, I'm still going to say Alabama has a slight edge. Anyways, continuing along here, whether you think Alabama's a top dog or they're behind Georgia, they're one of the premier programs. And whenever you have a premier program like this, what's the most important position? Quarterback. Quarterback. So when your star quarterback, your Heisman Trophy winning quarterback leaves, everybody's like, okay, who are we going to replace him with? When you look at the past few years of Alabama quarterbacks, they've been outstanding. You're talking about Jalen Hurts, Mac Jones, Tua Tagovailoa, and now, most recently, Bryce Young. Think about this, Jalen Hurts, Mac Jones, Tua Tagovailoa, and Bryce Young are all going to be starters in the NFL. And for that reason alone, that's why the quarterback battle at Alabama is so important, not just in the state of Alabama, but everywhere else. The expectations for Alabama quarterback at this current moment in time isn't good, it's to be exceptionally great. You have to be outstanding. Is it fair? No, but that's the gold standard. You know that when you commit to Alabama. I'll give you a great example. Georgia, the other team we talked about. Nobody's really concerned about the Georgia battle. Nobody's really talking about the quarterback battle going on in Georgia. Why is that? Because they know more than likely it's not going to be a drop-off. Look, Stetson Bennett made me eat my words. He had an outstanding season last year, but it's not going to be hard to replace him, and I think most people know that. I'm going to show you Georgia's schedule right here, and this is a different video for a different day, but it doesn't matter who's playing quarterback for Georgia. I've even almost convinced myself that if I was playing quarterback for Georgia, I could go 10-2. And that's why the Georgia quarterback battle or competition, whatever you want to call it, it's not that big of a deal because Georgia's still going to win a lot of games. But for Alabama, on the other hand, it's one of the biggest deals in the world because we saw what happened when Bryce Young doesn't play. Bama fans, do I need to remind you that you almost lost to Texas A&M, one of the worst teams? Actually, weren't they the actual worst team in the SEC last year? It was pitiful, and heck, Bryce Young had one of the best performances up in Neyland Stadium last year and still lost the game 52-49. My point is, and I think we can all agree on this, Alabama has to have a great quarterback to compete for a national championship. Georgia has proven they do not. So with that being said, it leads me to my next topic perfectly. Jalen Milroe. I'm going to give you a quick refresher on Jalen Milroe. Last year, he didn't play that good, and I'll leave it at that, and a lot of Bama fans did not like him. And when I say did not like him, that's a rough way to put it, but they felt like he wasn't the man for the job. And I'll be the first person to tell you, they were right, and heck, I was even criticizing him. He was very bad at times last year. Yes, he had a couple good runs here and there, but he also had a lot of turnovers and a lot of bad passes. He didn't look very comfortable last year, and even I said it. In 2022, he's not ready. He may be ready in 2023, but in 2022, he's just not ready to be the quarterback. And I've been listening and watching closely the past couple of months. All these Bama fans saying, oh, We want Ty Simpson. We don't want Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe can't pass. Just straight up, not really dogging him, but they've already moved on from him. They think Ty Simpson, he's the answer. But just like good old Lee Corso says, not so fast, my friend. I like Ty Simpson. I think he's got the better arm at this current moment, but do not count Jalen Milroe out of the mix. And I'd say at this current moment in time, he's leading the quarterback race. Yesterday, this video clip I'm about to show you, it was going viral all over Twitter. Matt wrote a clip. And oh yeah, by the way, let me give you some context. This was at one of Alabama's practices.
Catch.
As you saw and as you can currently see, a perfect, and I mean absolutely perfect, dime pass into the end zone. But here was the question. Nobody could see and figure out who threw it, and well, we now have confirmation that Jalen Milroe threw that pass. You see, a lot of Bama fans when that video clip came out was like, oh, there's no way that was Milroe. That had to be Ty Simpson. And well, come to find out, your boy Milroe, he's the one who threw it. Now I am going to play devil's advocate a little bit here. That is one pass out of the entire practice. And whoever posted this video clip, I think it might have been the Alabama football team themselves. Do you really expect them to post a video clip where it's Jalen Milroe throwing a terrible pass? No. For all we know, Jalen Milroe could have thrown 10 interceptions. We don't know, and this could have been the one touchdown. But here's what I will say. This one pass, it does look pretty good. And saying it looks pretty good, that's understating it. It's outstanding. Let me know your thoughts on that down below, and I do want to state this. I am the last person to hype up practice, and I'll explain why. This is the best example I could use. I remember in high school when we had basketball practice, there were dudes on my own team that were like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan in practice. They couldn't miss. They were a 99 overall. I'm talking about they had the best handles, best shot. They looked like a straight up D1 player. But however, when it came to game time, when the lights cut on and the fans got into the building, or not really the building, but I guess you say the gym, they froze up. Those same guys that were giving me the work in practice, they'd average 1 point a game, 2 points. It's one thing to do it in practice. It's an entirely different thing to do it in the game. And me, myself, I took practice very seriously, but I use practice to get other guys involved. I'm not worried about scoring all the points in practice. I'm scoring the points in the game. I took practice serious, but I was a game player. That's when I'm going to go out there and show out. So it is cool, and I was excited to see that Jalen Milroe made this outstanding pass. But I'm going to go back to this. It's practice. Maybe you get hyped up over practice footage, but I don't. I got to see it in the game. All in all, for this quarterback battle that's currently going on in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, I'm loving it because iron sharpens iron. With this battle going on between Ty Simpson and Jalen Milroe, it's making them both better, and they probably don't even know it. Because every day when they go to practice, they're like, man, I got to give it 100%, or this guy, he's going to get the edge over me. I always like a good old-fashioned quarterback battle, and here's where things get a little funny, because most Alabama fans and the media, they're tending to lean towards that Ty Simpson is leading this race. However, if you ask anybody that's showing up to these practices and people within the football team, they're saying that Jalen Milroe is leading the race. And that's what I think as well. I mean, Jalen Milroe, he does have the upper hand. He got reps in last season. Yeah, Ty Simpson got in here and there, but Jalen Milroe, he actually started a game. I do ultimately believe this is going to be a battle that goes all the way up until the day of the opening game. Nick Saban will not name an Alabama starter until they kick off against whoever they play. I already forgot. Who is it? I can't even remember. Is it Miami? No, it ain't Miami. I don't know who they play, but they play somebody, and that's when Nick Saban's going to announce the real starter. This is going to be something to keep your eyes on. I'm very curious. Let me know your thoughts down below. But right away,